It's 10 a.m. on WKYT Midmorning. The budget battle in Frankfort takes on a new tone. With no deal in sight, Governor Bevin has ordered immediate funding cuts to all Kentucky public colleges and universities. We're live on the UK campus with details.
Reaction to news that a popular festival that brings thousands of people to a central Kentucky town every year has been canceled.
And why buyers will have to wait to get behind the wheel of Tesla's new Model 3.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
It's Friday. Good morning and welcome in. Great to have you with us as we head for that weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. And it is pretty right now.
It is.
But, you know, little change after all.
So it's going to be chilly as we get into the weekend. Certainly the home and garden show is this weekend. So
inspiration for spring, all those things you need to get done.
Let's check in with Mike and out, our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, and what we're looking at outside, that front has already moved through. This is not a cold front. It's a cool front. It cools our temperatures down just a bit. It's not very cold air. It actually feels really good outside, especially with a lot of that sunshine. So clouds are now filtering on out, and we have just a few clouds here and there. The rain's long gone. And as we track off into the afternoon hours, you can see already mid-50s outside. We'll actually be in the low to mid-50s later on, 60s rather, later on today. A really nice one in the forecast today. Then we hit the weekend. That's when the cold air rushes on in. How low are we going? Possibility of a hard freeze. That shows you pretty chilly temperatures. I'll have that coming up.
All right, we'll see you. And in the news this mid-morning, it was a move that caught many off guard. Using an executive order, Governor Matt Bevin has ordered funding cuts to state universities and colleges. Those cuts take effect immediately.
The governor's move comes as negotiations over a state budget between the Kentucky House and Senate broke down. WKYT's Mark Barber is live on UK's campus, taking a closer look at the governor's decision.
Good morning, Barbara. UK receives its payments from the state in quarterly allotments. Well, one of those allotments is coming in today, but it will contain less money. The university is now trying to figure out how they will spread out their funds now that 4.5% of their funding has been cut. It's still too early for officials here to say how they are going to make up for the lost funds, but UK officials say for now, employees will not be furloughed and tuition will not be raised. However, university officials say there are concerns that the cuts could impact tuition if lawmakers pass Governor Matt Bevin's proposal to cut 9% from state schools over the next 2 fiscal years. For now, UK is trying to figure out how they will manage the immediate 4.5% spending cut. Bevin ordered the cut yesterday when budget talks between the House and the Senate fell apart. The Republican-held Senate thinks the cuts are needed to start paying down the state's pension debt. However, the Democrat-controlled House is trying to scratch the cuts because they think those cuts will hurt our schools. So what do students think? We've been speaking with them, many of them here at UK this morning, and some are welcoming the cuts because they think there is wasteful spending here at the university. However, others think that important programs could be cut, and they are worried that tuition will increase. We'll take a look at those budget concerns and those criticisms of the school coming up in another live report on WKYT News at noon. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. Morehead State University has already announced it's mandating furloughs for university employees. The university staff and administrators will have to take 5 furlough days, one during each pay period between the end of April and the end of June. As for full-time faculty, they'll receive a non-recurring salary reduction for the next school year that's equal to 5 contract days of pay.
Budget cuts to higher education could threaten a 65-year partnership that Kentucky has. Since the Commonwealth does not have a veterinary school, the state partners up with Auburn University to offer 38 students in-state tuition. But the Kentucky Veterinary Medical Association says Bevin's tuition cuts would mean just 22 students will be allowed in. KVMA President Dr. Alice Mills says she fears losing more of those in-state seats every year, eventually making it unaffordable for Kentuckians to go to veterinary school.
We're not just taking care of puppies and kittens. We're the people who are in the front line that are keeping our food safe and our public safe.
Students have to finalize their commitments to vet school by April 15th, even though the state budget may still be in limbo at that time. We'll see. With the legislative session winding down, if an agreement is not reached by April 12th on a budget, the governor would have to call a special session to avoid a state government shutdown. A special session would cost taxpayers roughly $70,000 a day. Stay up to date on the budget talks on our newscasts and also at WKYT.com and by downloading our WKYT News app.
A man accused of robbing a veteran in Lexington is expected to be arraigned today. Police say David Kirk Jr. turned himself in yesterday. A warrant was issued for his arrest a day prior. Last week, police say he pulled a gun on a volunteer and stole a donation jar from Veterans Outreach outside the Walmart on New Circle Road. A veteran collecting money was injured while trying to stop Kirk. The search is on for an inmate who escaped from a Lexington prison. Staff at Blackburn Correctional Complex say 32-year-old Jason Arnold was reported missing last night. He was serving a 10-year sentence for theft, forgery, and evidence tampering convictions out of Madison County. Arnold would have been eligible for parole in August.
Well, to the disappointment of many, Berea's annual Spoonbread Festival will not happen this year. Here's why. The Berea Chamber of Commerce voted to cancel this year's festival due to safety concerns following some protests over the Confederate flag. City officials want the sale and the display of the Confederate flag to be banned from the festival. The Chamber says they can't put that ban in place without some kind of new ordinance enacted by the city. More than 60,000 people attended last year's Spoonbread Festival. Now many businesses fear they will lose thousands of dollars.
People from all over the state, just not Berea, people from out of state that come to it because they've heard about Spoonbread and they want to taste it.
McCormick estimates Boone Tavern alone could lose about $15,000 now that the event is off.
3 people who claim they were assaulted at a Donald Trump rally in Louisville are now suing the GOP presidential frontrunner. One of those protesters is just 17 years old. The other, a 21-year-old University of Louisville student, was seen being shoved by 2 people at the rally. WDRB TV in Louisville says the lawsuit accuses 2 people of assaulting the 3 protesters. It also alleges that Trump incited a riot at his rally by repeatedly calling for the protesters to be removed. The billionaire frontrunner met privately Thursday with RNC Chair Reince Priebus in Washington to discuss delegate allocation and party rules. The latest polls show Trump in a tight battle with rival Ted Cruz in Wisconsin, which holds its crucial primary next week. Other polls show him struggling to gain ground among women voters. We have a traffic alert this morning for drivers who use the Mountain Parkway. The westbound off-ramp at exit 22 in Powell County will be closed until 3 o'clock today. The closure is so that crews can resurface the ramps. Traffic will have to take exit 18 in Clay City and get back on the parkway at exit 33 in Slade. You can use Kentucky 11 or Kentucky 15 to get to Stanton.
Well, the wait is finally over for fans who are wanting a glimpse of Tesla's newest electric car. Could be the future. Even though the Model 3 will not be available until late 2017, Tesla says it already has more than 115,000 reservations. At a starting price of $35,000, the car is less than half the cost of previous models. CEO Elon Musk says the car will go at least 200 miles when it is fully charged. And no, you do not have to have a cord that goes that long.
No, you do not. But boy, I think people really are interested.
It looks like could be the future. There could be demand, certainly. Well, it's April Fool's Day, and some businesses are getting in on the action today. Retailer
Kohl's joked that it's going to replace shopping carts with flying hover trolleys. And Soft Star Shoes, based in Oregon, said it would sell Jolt sneakers that send a jolt of electricity to people who need some help to get moving.
All right.
Well, that's one way to do it, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, this is no joke. There will be a Kentucky men's basketball news conference this afternoon, but what will be discussed is shrouded in mystery.
It's kept under wraps for now. Even our well-connected sports department does not know what today's special announcement is going to be about. Regardless, we'll be streaming the announcement live for you on WKYT.com. It'll be today at 2 o'clock. And you can find out, along with us, what the UK basketball program has to say when that announcement is made later on today.
when it's a mystery like that, you want to see it even more.
Right.
So.
You know, on April Fool's Day, you get suspicious, but we have some indications there may be something to be announced, so we'll see.
We'll see. And keep it right here this mid-morning. He took the time to craft the perfect proposal, but things really didn't go as planned.
Find out what happened that left this groom-to-be soaked and sad for a while.
And we're looking at a beautiful day in the forecast until we hit the weekend. The weekend, yeah, some cold air rushes on in. We'll show you that forecast coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Looking on live sky camera, that rain's moved on out, and once the rain has pushed on out eastern Kentucky, we're now going to be driving a lot of those clouds on out of here too. It's beautiful, beautiful morning. And look, these temperatures will rise pretty rapidly. We'll get into the afternoon, low to mid 60s. We're already at 58 degrees in Monticello, 56 in Lexington, and a few 57s here and there from Moorhead all the way down to West Liberty and Jackson, Salyersville, back toward Danville, Perryville, and Junction City, and then you go north of that into Harrodsburg. It's a good-looking morning there. We're at 62 degrees later on this afternoon, and you know what? We may even have to bump up those temperatures there by noontime to read mid-60s. I mean, this is a nice feeling day, but it's going to change there for the weekend. We go off into the evening. You'll have no problems whatsoever. It's good to head out to eat, head out to dinner. Tomorrow morning, maybe a little patchy frost. But really all eyes are focused in on Sunday morning, because here's what happens over the weekend. We get another front, but this front isn't very active. It's not very potent. This is a cold front. The front we just went through is not a cold front. It's just a boundary that's going to be making its way through and dropping our temperatures to the mid-60s. This one is some colder air. Yeah, 50s don't sound all that cold, but most of your day is going to be in the mid to upper 40s. Slight chance of rain on Saturday. That's mainly for far northern Kentucky and northeastern Kentucky. Work your way toward Lewis County, Greenup, Boyd, those areas. That's the best opportunity. And then a hard freeze there on Sunday morning. Depending on the cloud cover, we're expecting upper 20s to lower 30s there in the forecast. So it's going to be a really cold start Sunday morning, and that's your green thumb alert right there. And you know what? That's not the only one we have in the forecast. Remember, we get through your day, and things are looking pretty good there for your weekend. But, yeah, that's that morning shot. Look at multiple shots of 20s in your forecast. Sunday morning, Tuesday morning, and Thursday morning. We have multiple hits of some cold fronts heading in toward next week. So the next few days, very calm conditions. There's really not much going on. But then you hit next week, it is up and down. You'll get the front roll through and knock down the temperatures, bring the temperatures back up, knock it back down, and that's just the way it's going to go for the next couple of weeks. Not just next week, but the next couple of weeks, as I just don't see a change in this pattern. Not anytime soon, at least. So
What's the pattern?
the pattern is up and down. There's actually consistency in the pattern, but in terms of the temperatures, yeah, there's no consistency.
Just
there. You're
hang
right.
on.
Yeah, right.
You make a good point. All right, thank you. Well, it is one of life's most special moments, proposing marriage.
But for one Alabama man, his perfectly crafted proposal to his girlfriend was almost sunk. Greg used all of his life savings to get a ring to propose to his girlfriend. He met her at the pier in Fairhope, Alabama, and with his best man filming, he got down on one knee as he opened the ring box, though. Things went terribly wrong. One perfect bounce sent the ring flying down into the bay.
Oh.
First thing was, did that just happen?
Yeah, disbelief at first.
and we're thinking that we just saw some splash, that this was not real.
Now, Greg jumped in after the ring, but quickly realized the current was too strong. His best man actually had to save him. The groom-to-be did not have insurance on the ring that fell into the bay, but the jewelry store did offer Greg a deep discount on a new ring.
And as you see, she ends up with it, and so
That's
it all
right.
works
and
out.
She said yes, and it's okay, and they'll have this story to tell forever.
Wow.
Do not do that.
Yeah, what a story.
Well, a TV drama relives the story of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. Also, producers of the musical Hamilton hit the wrong note.
Suzanne Marquez has your eye on entertainment.
The Broadway hit Hamilton might be getting its first negative reviews. The Actors Union objected to the show's audition call for non-white men and women, saying that's a violation of the rules. The producers say they're changing the notice to welcome people of all ethnicities. The Ghostbusters sequel opens this summer, and this one stars a team of women leading the action.
You didn't disclose that the vehicle was going to be a hearse.
It's a Cadillac!
Chris Hemsworth co-stars in the supernatural adventure and says he hopes to see a continued trend towards strong female roles.
There should be more of it, but it is slowly sort of advancing there, which I think is a positive, It's great.
Hemsworth also stars in the new film The Huntsman Winter's War, opposite Charlize Theron and Jessica Chastain. A Supreme Court scandal captivated the nation. Now it's arriving in Hollywood. Confirmation is the story of the Clarence Thomas nomination hearings. Kerry Washington stars in the TV movie as Anita Hill, the lawyer who accused Thomas of sexual harassment. The cast turned out for the film's Los Angeles premiere.
Each of us as American citizens, we have so much power to impact our government. That's what democracy is about.
Confirmation debuts on HBO April 16th. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Hollywood.
Well, coming right up, if you're looking for great entertainment, you sure don't have to travel far at all.
Find out who's coming to the EKU Center for the Arts next on WKYT. And tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $135 million.
And Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $50 million. And we'll be right back on Mid-Morning. Welcome back. Great to have you on WKYT. Some big names are coming to the EKU Center for the Arts.
To learn all about it, we're joined by EKU Center Executive Director Joel Alberts. Welcome. Glad to have you in here.
It is great to be here. We got a lot of excitement going on.
Big lineup just ahead. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. Well, today is a big day. We went on sale this morning at 10 o'clock with tickets for Boston. The classic rock band is going to be performing with us on May 26th. And I got a text right before we went on air here saying that we sold a whole bunch of tickets in the first 15 minutes. So if you're wanting your Boston tickets.
And it's the 40th anniversary.
40th anniversary tour, and it is the only Kentucky date on that
tour.
Do
they still hit those guitar licks like they did?
The guitar licks are amazing, and Tom Schultz is still, the lead guitarist and really the innovator of this band, and what an amazing man, and what a, role Boston has played in what we think of as rock and roll music right now, and we're really excited about this concert. So come rock out with us. It's going to be fantastic.
Rock out.
It's going to be terrific. And if that doesn't get you excited enough, we have Styx coming next week. So we've got kind of the double bill of amazing classic rock opportunities, and a great opportunity to see these two bands in the next 2 months.
Now, you also have a guest making his third appearance at the EKU Center. Who's coming back? Very popular.
Very popular, and it is funny on April Fool's that we would mention a great comedian, but Jerry Seinfeld is going to be with us again. This is on July 8. Tickets go on sale to the general public next Friday. If you want your tickets early, you can join the Friends group at the EKU Center, and you can purchase your tickets 2 days before that and get the prime tickets for that show.
That's the way to do it then.
That is the way to do it. Go to EKUcenter.com, and there's a lot of good information there about how to go about doing that. But Seinfeld is amazing each and every time, and a great night of laughs, great night of comedy.
It doesn't get much bigger in names, especially for, say, the baby boomers there with Styx and Boston and Jerry Seinfeld coming in. But you also have an educational component there and do a lot of community events and conferences as well.
We really do. We have a lot of great things going on. We're going to be hosting the Idea Festival. And that's going to be on April 21 and 22. On the 21st, we have a day that's focused on middle to high school students and some great opportunities for them to learn about entrepreneurship and the various STEM activities. And the next day is really for the grown-ups with a variety of keynote speeches, culminating with a terrific talk by Jad Abumrad, who is the host of Radio Lab on NPR. He is a MacArthur Genius Grant winner and a really inspirational thinker, and should be an amazing day. But tickets are available for that as well.
All right. Busy place. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks so much for having me.
And keep it here this mid-morning.
We're going to check into the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next and see what's cooking up for the weekend.
It's April Fool's Day, and that means today is going to be filled with all sorts of pranks. And if you're looking to pull one over on your gang, how about making muffins for dinner? No, not just any muffins, but meatloaf muffins. Let me show you exactly what I mean. We start by combining some ground beef with a beaten egg, some shredded zucchini, a bit of breadcrumbs, a bunch of off-the-shelf spices, and a splash of water. After gently mixing this together, we fill muffin cups with it. I like to divvy this up using an ice cream scoop. That way, each one comes out exactly the same size. Then, we spoon a bit of ketchup over each one before baking them off. We can also trick our non-veggie eaters into eating their veggies since these are loaded with zucchini, which is almost impossible to detect. And the thing that will fool them the most is how darn good these are. Maybe serve them with some mashed potatoes and dinner is ready. So what do you say you go online and get the recipe for what we call muffin tin meatloaves? This way, you'll be armed with a recipe to serve tonight or any night. It's also a tasty way to pull off an April Fool's prank that everyone will love. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a gotcha kind of way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, and heading into the weekend, don't forget, of course, the Home and Garden Show, and you're going to be down there.
Which is really good weather. I mean, all of us are going to be down there. We'd love to see you down there. It's really good weather for it because it's the type of weather that it's mainly dry, but it's still on the cool side of things. It's not like you can get outside and have a picnic in upper 40s, lower 50s.
Well, you could, but you'd be cold.
Yeah, it won't be great. So, yeah, Home and Garden Show will be packed this weekend. We'd love to see you down there. But a hard freeze, that's what we're going to be focusing in on the next several days.
Barb and I will be there giving helpful tips tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, we'll be learning. I think
Barb,
we'll be
love to
learning.
see you.
We'll be saying hello and learning.
Bill's helpful tips? I don't know.
Don't go there. All right, thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back here for the latest news at noon.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bring them in. They can watch that. We're going to do.
What makes him think of that?